We're back at North Wilkesboro. Tire change right front for Kenny Wallace, who had assumed the lead just moments before that right front went flat. He returns to the fray.
They say, why didn't they change the right rear as well when we were in there? Because they had to jack the car up, because under the rules you can only change the tire that's flat. Let's go to Marty Reed.
Well, guys, they're looking at this thing, and you may be peeking in on it too. I cannot tell exactly whether it cut or whether he just ran over something. We'll get to you if we find out the exact reason. But the inner liner, everything on this thing's toasted. And Benny, you're right. Great piece of driving on his part to stay on the lead lap. And remember last week at our midway point, he said, you know, going from 36 to 8th was the easy part. The other 8 spots was the toughest. Well, he made it to 4th. This week he made it to 1st. Now he's going to have to start all the way over again.
Kenny Wallace continues to provide a lot of thrills in Craftsman SuperTruck racing, but Jack Sprague is back out front. The position he held moments before that Wallace incident. Wallace came up, took the lead away from him impressively. Butch Miller will get his first shot at the lead here today as we prepare for the restart. Butch lines up second, then Mike Bliss, Jeff Bodine, and in 5th, Joe Ruttman. Hoping to leave here the championship point leader. The green is in the air. Great restart for Sprague.
And Schrader trying to get his lap back. The AC Delco truck, the blue and white one. He and Swindell both. Swindell's a couple of laps down.
Now Miller gets it moving up on the outside as they come to start finish. Fast trucks. Pretty trucks.
Really fast, pretty trucks. And we see Swindell once again has Mike Bliss, the Ultra Wheels. No, that's Butch Miller, I'm sorry.
Butch around the outside, but did not get around. Swindell comes up the racetrack directly in front of him. Butch to the bottom, and now here comes Bliss to challenge Butch Miller.
They're flagging the 38 truck, but
they're telling the NASCAR officials are going to black flag the 38 for not moving over and letting these lead trucks go. There we see the NASCAR official violently waving that black flag. But meanwhile, it's going to do Butch any good because he is side by side.
Clear high.
And Bliss goes by.
So Miller will lose the spot in the process.
Clear.
Now Swindell comes down out of the way to let the leaders go by. But in the course of all that, Sprague has opened up a pretty fair gap. Here's the look out the back of Bliss's truck. Marty?
Well, guys, we can update you on the tire situation for Kenny Wallace. Both valve stems were missing, which would give credence to the fact that probably the contact with Jack Sprague is what started the deflation on the tires, and then it just eventually let go.
And so that is what cost Kenny Wallace the lead. Now he comes up and has a pretty good tussle here with Mike Chase as he goes by on the inside. Kenny's in a hurry to get back to the front, but he has a lot of company in that category.
They were 3 abreast just for a second coming off the corner, but meanwhile, there's the battle for the lead. That's Scott Lagacy in the 24, the DuPont truck. He is in the lead lap. He had Kenny Wallace racing for position. That's 9th spot.
Running it back through the field as 9th and 10th have at it. And just in front of them, Skinner. Continuing to struggle a little in 8th. This is not a disastrous hit in terms of his championship. If the race were to end now, Ruttman would pick up, what, 10, 15 points? But it's certainly not what Skinner came here to do today. His goal was to race Ruttman. In fact, he has chased Ruttman through most of the afternoon.
And qualifying on the pole, it looked like he had everything going his way, an upper hand. But once the race started, it didn't take but just a few laps for him to find out the chassis setup was certainly not correct.
Confirms what a lot of guys have told us, not only about the truck race, but about the Winston Cup race this weekend. It's a tough place to get it just right.
A very, very tough place. Kenny Wallace trying his best to get by Scott Lagacy. And Lagacy trying to get by the 3 truck of Skinner. Here he comes on the inside. Has position.
Skinner can't seem to keep it on the bottom. Lagacy will perhaps try to get on by. Yeah. He's got position and holds it and should take 8th place away from Skinner, and Wallace will try to fit through that same gap. Skinner in danger of losing 2 spots and falling to the tail end of the top 10.
And look
Bliss
here.
challenging for the lead. Look at this. Mike Bliss inside. Miller right there with him. No response from Jack Sprague. Jeff be in to get around Jack Sprague?
He doesn't have a lot of time, just 20 laps, and it looks like Mike Bliss's Ultra Wheels truck is running pretty doggone well.
Bliss is best this season, third at Mesa Marin, top 10 his last 5 outings. And yes, Mike, we will talk to you if you win this race, I guarantee it.
Man, Barry Dodson is his credibility is going to be really high after this deal.
He's going to want a big bonus. Barry Dodson, of course, was crew chief for Kyle Petty. Left that team 10 days ago. Has signed on to be Bliss's crew chief for the full season next year. And is filling in that capacity here today. With Champion was the crew chief. He's gone.
Last time we saw these guys together, the 7 was in front. And here they come. They're side by side.
Never touched. Well, not very hard. Bodine takes third. Meanwhile, Miller working on Bliss up front. Sprague has had the lead a couple of times. Can't hang on to it. Truck doesn't want to stick to the bottom very well.
I tell you, I've always, Butch Miller is a great race car driver, and he's very patient. Just gets the chassis as good as anyone. And I tell you, Mike Bliss is going to have his hands full from probably Jeff Bodine and Butch Miller before this thing's over.
Butch pretty hungry for wins. He has won a Super Truck race this year, but most of the time he gets third, and he gets pretty tired of being third. And he's quick to tell you that. He's second with a shot at the victory here today as we take a break with 134 down. We're back at North Wilkesboro. Benny, I got to ask you, with the laps winding down the way they are, has Bodine time to get up here and make this a 3-truck race for the lead, or is Miller the only threat to the leader, Mike Bliss?
It looks like that Miller is the threat, but if they start racing each other,
Clear.
Bliss and the 98 of Butch Miller, then Jeff Bodine will catch him. But as long as Miller can't get up and get alongside Bliss and make him start using his mirror, I don't think he'll catch him.
I'll tell you what, Butch isn't there yet. Bliss is maintaining that gap at 2 to 3 truck lengths and driving the thing just as smooth as silk. He cut his teeth up in the Pacific Northwest, Milwaukee.
Caution now for debris. Caution now for debris.
We've got a yellow.
Wow.
Caution flag for debris on the racetrack. Mike Bliss, 2 to 3 truck length lead will evaporate, and Butch Miller will be tapping on his rear deck when we restart.
Now, they're going to restart this race with the 10-lap rule. That means that the cars on the lead lap will start nose to tail. We won't have those cars a lap down on the inside of them. So Bodine caught a break. He absolutely caught a break.
We're going to get a single file restart.
There will be single file restart when we resume. And the word was to
I've been going everything I got, Gary. Yeah, I know. But maybe he'll make a mistake. He's a lot tighter than we are off the corner.
That's Miller.
Yeah, Butch Miller said, I've been giving it all I got. I kind of felt that way.
Yeah, you're doing real good. We just got to hope he just makes a mistake, that's all.
Precluded the need for us to speculate about whether he was keeping any in his pocket. Butch says,
It's all on the table.
We've had the excitement every time we've had a different leader so far today. Bliss leading for the first time. We'll take a quick break and come back to see if he can hang on to it in the 10 laps that remain.